Good evening, everybody. Commissioner Ace Coach 704, PEL, Primetime Elite League in the Season 5 off-season show, sponsored by Hooters. That's why we're late, because I had to stop by Hooters and use a gift card that was given to me by my lovely wife for Valentine's Day. And I got me some boneless wings, Chipotle honey sauce. They were delicious. And that's why we're starting 39 minutes late. All right. Anyway, so we'll jump in here, and we're going to start by going through free agent signings. I'm going to go through notable signings for the teams here. And I have to say, everyone did a great job for the most part. If you had money, you used it. It was a very good off-season with the activity as far as free agents go. Great job. You see on the screen a couple big signings. The Rams signing Devontae Adams. He wanted the number one receiver. The Packers said he just looked good. That's why he let him go. And the Rams gave him $77.5 million to try to be that number one receiver that they're looking for. And then the Lions, what else do you damn need? You won the Super Bowl. I know we had some things going on in the playoffs, but Odell Beckham to the Lions for 3 years, $66 million. I think the Seahawks had a bid on him for a while and was trying to get him, but that's an NFC North problem that I hope I don't have to see this year since we just played their asses. Anyway, notable signings. Let's see. A lot of good, decent contracts here, the guys. There's Ronald Darby getting $20 million from the 49ers. We signed Ryan Kelly, 2 years, $27.1 million. We were going to spend on offensive line. He was the best one out there, and, we paid for him. And that's going to fill a hole for Trey Turner, who we traded to the 49ers for a second-round pick. Stephon Tuitt fills a big hole for the Saints. D tackle, 1 year, $8.5 million. I let him go just because I had some other guys I think are ready to step up in that position. He did a good job while he was here. Schollmeyer to the Saints also. He was a pretty good offensive lineman. 3 years, $30 million. Bucks signing tight end Austin Hooper to a lot of money. But that's Jeff. 7 years, $46.6 million. My goodness. Let's see what else we got here. Big money. Texans, DeMarcus Lawrence. X-Factor defensive end. I think he was probably the best one out there. And he got a pretty good payday. That's good for him. Cody Whitehair. He was a pretty good offensive lineman. I don't know if he was that good. 7 years, $66 million. Good Lord. I don't know what that's about. But good job to Cody and his agent. Kyrie Savage, formerly of the Jaguars. He said he was going to let him go, and he did. Texans spending a lot of money on a running back. And we're going to talk about that team here a little bit more in depth with some of their interesting moves, to say the least. Let's see. Any more big deals? I do like, Le'Veon Bell to the Bucks. Jeff, what the hell are you doing, man? 7 years, $79.9 million? He gotta be he's 31 years old. Oh, good Lord. I know we're getting later in the cycle, but we got at least 3 more years, guys. Come on now. Let's plan a little better than that. Chris James, decent defensive end, 5 years, $31.5 to the Seahawks. Let's see. Dwayne Haskins to the Titans, 5 years, $113. 88 overall quarterback. Wasn't the best one out there, strangely enough, but big money to go to Tennessee. See how he does there. Okay. We're not talking about Jeff's contracts no more. All right. Anyone else? Tyler Boyd gets some good money from the Lions. I don't know if he needs any more receivers. Whatever. You got money to spend. Hey. All right. I think that's going to be pretty much the end of the big deals. All right. Let's jump over to some trades, and I will give my unsolicited analysis that you guys love to hear. We, like I said, we traded Trey Turner for a second round pick. I feel like it was a good deal for both sides. Trey was on the last year of his deal. He's 84 overall. It's like $15.1 million on our cap. And, we weren't going to pay that much for him, and he's getting older, and we weren't going to re-sign him. So get a second round pick for him. Helps the 49ers. He's playing left guard for them now. And this trade we talked about in the chat. Adrian Killins. Adrian Killins is a 98 speed, I think 99 acceleration running back. 79 overall. For DeAndre Smith, who is a good player, but the Cowboys do have Zeke Elliott still, who's still good. They get Swift, a third, and a fifth rounder. Now, everyone knows a 98 speed, 99 acceleration running back is rare. It's a blue goose. Former Panthers GM Dave Gettleman would call guys like that a blue goose because it's something you never see. And if you got a blue goose, you either hang on to them or you get a king's ransom for them. And the Cowboys didn't do either here. So Cardinals get the best of that deal, even if Killins doesn't start, which he probably will. But even if he didn't start, you could flip him and probably realistically, if someone loves speed, you can get 2 firsts for this guy. So, yeah, that was a good deal for Arizona. Now, Swift's a good player, but he's not going to start. Yeah, I mean, you got a non-starter and you got 2 picks, which are pretty much throwaways, in my opinion. But anyway, the Texans trade Will Fuller to the Bills, and the Bills trade Marlon Mack, Dawson Knox, and the Texans also trade a first-round pick to the Bills. Now, you remember when we just talked about free agent signings, to refresh your memory. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go straight to them. Texans signed Kyrie Savage, 5 years, $32 million. All right. Now, they traded for Marlon Mack and Dawson Knox. Why are you trading for Marlon Mack in this deal? You just signed Savage to $32 million. Will Fuller is a 98 speed receiver. You gave that up to the Bills, the number 1 offense in the league. Dawson Knox is a decent tight end. He's nothing special. So the Bills gave him up and Mack up, get a 98 speed receiver and a first round pick for a player that the Texans don't need, an average tight end. Good job, Bills. Good job. Texans, what are you doing? Makes no damn sense to me. No damn sense. Anyway. Moving on. The Rams trade O.J. Howard to the Bills. Bills give up the same first round pick they just got from the Texans, a 4th, and then a 2nd next year. Now, O.J. Howard, 88 overall, 29 years old. Draft picks have a declining value in CFMs, but like I said, we've got 3 more seasons in us, maybe 4 if we really push it. So these picks still have value. I think the Rams did a good job here. Getting a 1st, future 2nd, and a 4th for a guy that they probably didn't use that much as a primary receiver in their offense. Now the Bills get another weapon, which I thought, they were in a pretty good spot, being number 1 overall in the league in offense. But hey, if you don't value, now this goes with saying, if the Bills are going to miss the draft, that's not a bad deal, because, you can't trust the CPU if you don't set your draft board, all that. So, I mean, they got another weapon. I mean, it's better than this trade. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, today, Packers trade tight end Tyrone Westerman to the Saints, who's a pretty good tight end. I think he's like 26. It's like 89 overall, something like that. And then the Saints trade Jacob Breeland, who's probably just a throw-in to replace Westerman, and a 2nd this year and a 2nd next year. So I think Westerman has to be re-signed or is close to it. I mean, the Saints, it adds to their offense, which, They needed a tight end that's good for them. Giving up a second, 2 seconds, I don't know if he's worth, well, I don't know. It's not bad. It's a much better trade than the last two we just talked about. Let's put it that way. Okay. All right. Let's jump to our team evaluations. All right. And we'll just start with me, then we'll go from there. So, we've got the 15th and 30th pick in the first round. Then we got some 2 seconds as well. I mean, for us, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, we've got a pretty good team. We just got to get our heads out our ass, to be honest. We finished the season pretty good last year. I was proud to finish number one in defense, which was a first. We got enough weapons on offense, I think, to do well. We got to start turning the ball over, better protection up front. Okay, the Packers are here. Thanks for that comment. We've got to do better protecting the ball on offense. I think we do better with that. We'll be all right. We got to fix protection up front. And, that's pretty much it. So, all right, we'll go up. Let's go up. All right, since the Packers are on, we'll go him next. He has no first rounder, second rounder from Miami in that trade for Westerman, the tight end. Looking through his roster, of course, Jackson's the man there. He got hurt, which kind of hurt him in the playoffs. Jones is still good. He's starting to get up there a little bit. Samuel came over in the trade last year with me. Then he's got Chenault, who's a good player, and then St. Brown, who I know he likes. Sternberg will be the man at tight end. There's Breland, that was the throw in. Bakhtiari's getting older, still very good. He's got a pretty good offensive line. Center and right guard could use an upgrade. Defensively, I mean, it doesn't really matter because, he's a good user on defense. I know Galley had a good season in the middle. Ebert is a beast. And then the secondary is what makes him so tough. So with him only having a second rounder, I could see that going to an offensive lineman, possibly. Doesn't need a lot. So Samuel's superstar, yeah, I saw that. That's good. So definitely don't need a receiver. How about that? All right. The champions, the Detroit Lions, have the 32nd pick in the first round. He's turned McManus into a very good player. Obviously, he's got a superstar development on him. The old Lions, usually probably 4 times back, drafted McManus, and that was a good pick back then. Of course, Johnson is the running back. He mixes these guys up a good bit. Let's see. Definitely, I don't think he needs a receiver. Yeah, I was upset he got Odell Beckham too. I mean, I know that the Seahawks had a good offer on him, but the Lions has managed to, win and keep, cap space, and he's able to go out and make a big signing like that. Hawkinson's very good at tight end. His offensive line's not bad, which allows him to do the things he does on offense. That 32nd pick could go to a guard, though. And then defensively, he's got some veteran guys that do a good job overall. D tackle, that could definitely go there at 32nd. This is a good draft for any kind of defensive lineman. I think it's a good D-line draft. We've had a couple of those lately. Linebackers are pretty good. Good young corners. Not bad. And then could go safety as well. So there's a couple places they could go in the first round with that 32nd pick. All right, the Jets have 2 firsts, 1 from the Cardinals. I can't remember what deal that was in. Might have been one from a couple years ago. So he got a first and a second from the Cardinals. I had to think about that. Maybe it'll pop up on the roster. Jets are a good team. Developed Darnold into a good quarterback. Well, they can definitely go running back with 2 picks. In this draft, there are some good running backs. So I think definitely one of those first round picks will go to a running back. Receivers aren't bad. pretty decent overall. Could get another tight end there. Could go offensive line. Move one of those tackles to guard. But that right side's not bad. Center on is not bad right there. Could use defensive end on the right side. Good D tackles. Could use some depth, like most of us, because we ain't got no money. But defensively, his style, he plays pretty good with it. A lot of blitzing, very aggressive. So I'm thinking offensive line, defensive line. With those 2 first-round picks where they are, he should be able to get some players that'll help him this year. All right, Jags, 29th pick in the first round. Choked in the AFC title game. Of course, he's good at quarterback. Damn. All right, I guess he's going running back. He's not one on the roster. Good tight ends. His offensive line's pretty good, which allows him to throw the ball all over the field. Defensive line, he could go there, but I'm thinking it's running back. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, his top line defense, you don't need a lot of help with these guys. He should have won a couple Super Bowls by now, honestly. I don't think he's watching. All right, who is next? Let's see. We're going to the Giants. All right. Giants had the 25th pick in the first round. And Jones is the man. Of course, Saquon Barkley's a beast. Needs some depth at receiver, but those top 3 are deadly. Ingram's a good tight end. Really, these guys that have these star players, you got to pay them. And that's why you're seeing the issues with not having a lot of depth here. So the draft is very important, for these guys, because one of these star guys goes down, you got to have somebody decent behind them. Oh, he is watching. Oh, I'm sorry, Jaguars. I'm sorry. I just have to tell the truth. I really do. All right, secondary guy. I mean, this team is very good. They just need some depth. But overall, they're a very good team, and they get into the NFC playoffs. They just can't get over the hump. But the NFC's tough. I mean, there's a lot of good teams over here. 49ers had the 17th pick in the first round. Let's see here. Developed Garrett Murphy well. Run first offense. He's developed him into a superstar. That's a good job. He's done a really good job with Matt Breida. He runs very well with him. That's very good. He's turned Pettis into a very good player. Could go receiver. 17. You got a couple of receivers. It's not a strong draft, but you got some good receivers that could be there at 17 that could help out to go with Pettis. He's really focused on his offensive line. Done a good job with that. He's got some mix of veterans and a couple young guys. But they're pretty good up front. Bosa's a beast. Decent defensive ends, decent D tackles. You can get by with those guys. Pretty good linebackers across the board. Could use another corner at 17, maybe in this draft. I don't know. Maybe. Hard to say. Corners tend to go early in CFNs, but we'll see this year. Could use an upgrade at the free or the strong, but those guys are decent. So a couple different ways 49ers could go. I'm always interested to see what he does because he's a little unconventional and it seems to work out for him. He's done good. NFC West was a tough division. But he had an 8-8 season last year, which is one of his better years. So good job overall. We do have a new Falcons user. He's 28th pick in the first round. He will not make the draft tonight, but he told me he set his draft board. God knows this team does not need a lot. The previous guy did a good job, and well, even before him, the one before that, the Cowboys' son drafted Barry Logan, so you got to give him some credit too for contributing to building this team. Agape traded him Todd Gurley, which thank you very much. But I guess it's my fault because I hurt Zach Moss, who apparently is still hurt. What did I do to this guy? I got to see this. Where is it at? Torn pectoral. Damn. That was like week 5. All right, anyway. Well, hey, hold on. We got to get rid of some of these damn running backs. I mean, good. You don't need that many. All right. Julio Jones did retire, but they've got Mike Evans and then Tylan Wallace, who has developed into an X-Factor receiver. And then they've got another guy ready to go right there, and this guy, and another guy. So they definitely don't need any damn receivers. My Lord. Good at tight end with Parkinson there. Pretty good offensive line. Though Matthews and Hudson are getting older. And then they could use a right tackle. 28, there might be a couple options there. That's probably where I'd go with this team. Could go D-line. Their D tackles are very strong. It makes it tough to run against these guys because then you look at their linebackers, they got speed. And then Deion Jones is like a safety at the middle linebacker spot. He's ridiculous. Chason's a very good player. And then their corners are pretty good as well. So they're a tough team to play. With a lot of speed, a lot of high ratings. They're smart. They don't need a lot, but right tackle or defensive line for the Falcons is where I would look. All right, let's see. Eagles are, 2 first-round picks. Hopefully he makes the draft. You got 2 firsts. It's always good to try to make it, or at least set your draft board. 7-19. I know they don't have any money. They weren't active in free agency for that reason. Wentz is still pretty good. Superstar running back. Okay. You could roll with that guy. Make him work. A couple good receivers right there, and Landry and Whiteside. He could be a slot factor depending on what you like. Ertz is still getting it done. 33 years old. Man, maximum security. I've never seen that X factor. What the hell is that? Sure-handed receiver. Oh, wow. Nice. Tight end apprentice. I've never seen those before. Cool. All right. Offensive line is the way to go. Definitely needs a left tackle, good center, good right guard. Okay, left tackle, that's one spot. At 7 or 19, I don't know if there's a top flight guy. Maybe you wait till 19 to get your left tackle, but you definitely need one. Good veterans on the D-line. Linebacker. Left outside linebackers in need. Could use upgrade at corner and safety. Strong safety. Free safety, excuse me. Delpit's a nice player. All right, so that's for the Eagles. Let's go to the Dolphins. Dolphins, did they trade? They probably traded it first for something. Herbert's very good. 51 touchdown passes last year. Then he got these guys. He's got all on the block for probably different values at running back. He's got receivers. I think a couple of them were available, like Cleveland and Reed, I believe. I know he's not giving up the top guys. Tight end, my goodness. He's trying to develop a tight end farm or something. What's going on there? Offensive line, but it doesn't have a first rounder, so he might be trying to trade for offensive line or might be just developing those guys. But he's got these 2 right here that are probably both his tackles. Just got to flip one of those positions. And then his defense is very good. Very talented guys. He had Ed Oliver up, but I don't know how serious he was about trading him. It's my opinion. But the linebacking crew is good as well. Thompson's starting to get old. That's why I let him go, because he regresses and he just, I don't know what happens. But corners are very good. Good speed with them as well. And then he's done a good job in drafting safeties that are starting to develop into very good players. A very good team. Very good team in Miami. All right. Dallas Cowboys. America's team. Number 8 in the first round. What are they going to do? Do you try quarterback again? I don't know. That's a sensitive subject. All right, Ezekiel Elliott's of course still very good. There's Swift. He got in the trade with Killins. Cooper and Gallup were on the block, so he may be trying to go receiver. But if you keep those guys, you don't really need a receiver. Good tight ends. I mean, that's probably the best tight end group in the league. Look at that, 2 X factors and a superstar. See, someone need a tight end, man. Hey, Cowboys, you need to trade one of these guys. I mean, come on now. You don't need 3 good tight ends. That's where you get your value right there. All right, offensive line. We know he's traded most of those great guys, but there's still a pretty good line. A lot of young guys. Could use an upgrade at right tackle. Definitely needs defensive line. Big time. At the end position, D tackles aren't bad. You can get by with those guys. Linebackers are pretty good, with Smith being the best one. Corners, got some decent speed there. And then the safeties are decent. Fitzpatrick's very good though. So I mean, they're not a bad team. I think you just need to retool your resources. When you got 3 tight ends like that, you can move one of those guys, get something good for them that'll help you out somewhere else. That's a very good tight end group. Wow. All right. Let's go to Colts. Have the 9th pick in the first round. Okay, Jordan Love, superstar development guy. Good job with that. And then he's got, protective custody. I need to study these damn X factors more. They always intrigue me when I see a new one. Ball carriers. All right. Nice. All right, there you go. I like that. Good job, Richie Godfrey. He's a tough running back. I remember playing him last year. Receiver, Zay Jones starting to get up there a little bit. Campbell is a nice looking guy, but you can get an upgrade there at 9 most likely. See, now the Colts should be talking to the Cowboys. Now, Severian Jenkins is a nice tight end, but hey, all 3 of the Cowboys tight ends are better than Severian Jenkins. All 3. Y'all hook up on that. All right. Colts have a pretty good offensive line. Probably one of the better ones in the league, to be honest, especially on that left side. There's Paco Sanchez, former storyline player. He's turned into an X-Factor fearmonger, coming off the edge with Chase Young. Dynamic duo right there. D tackles are okay. Okay, could use an upgrade at left outside linebacker and maybe the right, depending on your user skills with them. Good corners. I mean, that's a great corner group. Look at that top 3 corners right there. That's a hell of a tandem right there between those guys. Good job with that. Then Hooker, the free, and then Wentz. I mean, this is a good secondary at Indianapolis. Just got to have something to bring it together. And, this might be the year you get it done. All right, Chiefs, 11th pick in the first round. And, of course, they got Money Mahomes right there. Look for the Chiefs maybe, and you need to get back to me because he was interested in one of the running backs on the Steelers. Now, I never heard back from him. So if you're watching, you need to get back with me on that. That running back could put him over the top because you look at these receivers. You got Tyreek, Hardman, T. Higgins, and Kane's not a bad guy either. And then this guy's 95 speed. I don't even know who the hell he is. All this with Mahomes? I mean, my God, you can put on a show. Good gracious. Disley is a possession tight end right there. You could upgrade him if you wanted to. You could go offensive line as well. Left side, and you need a right guard. Good gracious. Yeah, offensive line. Good D-ends and Giles and Reggie White Jr., former storyline player. Need a little depth at D-tackle. There's Dawson, another former superstar guy. Good linebackers. Could use an upgrade at the right position, though. Top 2 corners are all right. Well, really top 3. They're not bad. And then good free safety in Edmonds, and then strong you can get by with Woods. So definitely offensive line. You got to go O-line. I'd go O-line first 2 picks. Get 2 guys that'll start immediately. The LA Chargers, the surprise Super Bowl team from the AFC that no one thought was going to be there. So, hey, good job. 31st pick in the first round. So his style is option. And Easton Stick's the man that runs it. So Gordon's still very good, and then he mixes in Eckler along with him. And then the receivers, these are good enough for what he likes to do. So I wouldn't go there. Tight ends are very good. I like that combo with Henry and Everett right there. You might want to add a blocking tight end for what he likes to do, getting out on the edge. Get a good blocking tight end, that would help. And then offensive line wise, this is where you got to go. You got to go there because you get against these good teams and you got these kind of linemen that's going to really hurt you. And then defensively, of course, Bosa's a beast. Somehow Ingram is still the man. Good Lord. Yeah. All right. Defensive end. So offensive and defensive lines are definitely the focus here. Because I think everything else for the Chargers is, you need an outside backer. Move one of those guys. Not bad in the corner spot. Good depth in the corners. And then your safeties are very good. So, yeah, offense, defensive line. You got to get the big boys to get over the top. But, hey, good season last year. I mean, really great season. Good job. Cardinals, they're not going to be at the draft. Obviously, only a 6th, 7th round pick. We'll just talk about them real quick. They traded Kyler Murray. They got Jalen Hurts. That was a money move. Murray's a very good player, but Hurts is cheaper, obviously. Being younger, still on his rookie deal. So Killings will be the man. David Johnson is, aging out. So he's going to be the next guy for the next few years. They're good at receiver. They pay these guys a lot of money. But they're very good at receiver. Tight end, they don't really worry about. They stay in a lot of 3 and 4 wide sets. The offensive line, he's started to develop into a pretty good unit across the board. Had to pay a couple of those guys this past offseason. Now the defense is where it is. This is a very good defense, all 3 levels. Number of storyline guys in there. We did articles in the past to get upgrades. It's a very, very good job on that. These 2 corners right here, that's probably the top corner duo in the league between Riddle and Murphy Jr. And then he's got good safeties with Baker. And again, who's not a bad player. Then there's Rudy Ford, who's one of my all-time favorites. So that's what we got with the Cardinals. Tampa Bay, 2 first-round picks, 6 and 13. Now, this deal was the corner for what is his name? Anyway, that's how that first-round pick's there, and the second. Trey White, because he came over from Buffalo to the Bucks, and the Bucks traded him to the Saints. All right, so that's why we got there. All right, Joe Burrow's the man. Then he paid Le'Veon Bell a crap ton of money to be the running back. Godwin, of course, is the number 1 guy, and then Shepard is very good, and then there's Goodwin, the requisite speed guy for Jeff. So depth at receiver in the later rounds, depth at tight end in the later rounds. He signed a couple offensive linemen right there in Williams and Morse. But not a bad offensive line. He's an upgraded center. D-line, the defensive ends need some attention. Pretty good at D-tackle between Vea and Essex. And then Ecker gets up in there too. Linebacker, okay. So let's see. Defensive end and linebacker. Definitely use upgrades. Not bad at the corner spots. Stewart's not bad at free. Evans, you could use an upgrade at strong also. So they definitely have some elements of success there for Tampa. But they got 4 picks in the top 45. So this is a very important draft for the Buccaneers. They can really get better here in some key spots. And really, they got 2 third-round picks, 2 fourth-round picks. Good gracious. I mean, they got picks. They just got to pick the right guys. So we'll see. All right, Browns have the 27th pick in the first round. Let's see what we got here. Very good team. Baker Mayfield, of course, is a beast. There's Kevin Thompson, the most ballyhooed storyline player so far this cycle. Slipped all the way to 28. Still mad at y'all about that. Don't let somebody slip tonight. Just a warning. Could use some receivers. Of course, Callaway's very good, but Ratley's getting older, and then you got some guys that are decent right there. And Njoku's a beast at tight end. Offensive line, he had to let some guys go for money reasons, so you could go offensive line if one falls to 27th that he likes. And then defensively, left end could use an upgrade. Depth at D tackle. I know he was trying to trade. I think was he trying to trade Schobert at some point? Maybe that was my other league. Getting them mixed up now. But these corners, that's a dream right there. That's a great group. And then, of course, upgrade at safety, or you can move one of them corners to free and be all right. And then Strong's our young guy right there. He's done a very good job. Storyline player, Wyatt Smith. So, of course, the Browns still have a lot of good talent. We'll see what they do at 27. All right, the Broncos, newest member to the league. Welcome to the league. Has been patiently waiting for this moment. On the draft show. Oh, the Browns say Super Bowl or bust. I hear you, man. You got the talent. All right, Broncos number 2 overall in the draft. There's Kyler Murray, who came over in the midseason trade from the Cardinals. They got now we haven't looked at the Broncos roster, so some of these guys are going to be a bit of a surprise. Case Portis, superstar running back. I think you're good with that. Rolando Smith, receiver, could get some speed up in there. But these guys are not bad. Tall guys. Blake B. Marshall. I'm not sure who he is, but there you go. Good tight ends, Crutchfield and Fant. Not a bad combination. Offensive line wise, could use an upgrade at the left guard spot. Right guard spot. Kyle Mecklenburg. Oh, somebody knows some Broncos history. I hear you. That's all right. Former D lineman Carl Mecklenburg was a big guy for the Broncos back in the day. I hear you. Good job. Chubb is a good player at the D end spot. That's my former D tackle, Greg Allen. I hear you. Good. All right. Glad he's doing something with his life. That's a good. He's an upgraded D tackle. Let's see. Linebackers could use an upgrade. A little older at that position. Barry Romanowski. All right. I like it. I hear you. I love it. Austin to leave. Trying to pay some. I'm going to shoot some former Bronco guys. Could use an upgrade at the corner spot. Same thing for safety. So, they got some pieces, but, you got a little bit of work to do, of course. This team has not had stable ownership. So, hopefully with the number 2 pick, you got a little bit of time to look at the draft board, do some scouting, and then you can reference the storyline players posted. Now, I will say not every storyline player is a guarantee. Y'all know that. We have had storyline busts, so just don't pick a storyline guy thinking he's going to be great. Bills don't have any picks, but we will kind of peruse the roster here real quick. Of course, he traded for some of those older offensive linemen that have helped him become the number 1 offense in the league. Josh Allen's a very good player. There's Will Fuller we were talking about with 98 speed. Got in the trade from the Texans. There's O.J. Howard that came over in the deal from the L.A. Rams. McKenzie has been one of the better receivers in the league. The pair up with Fuller is going to be a dynamic duo on the outside in Buffalo. I think defense is the way to go. You look at some of these top guys. He's got Ioannidis at the D tackle spot. You want a dominating pass rusher to kind of pair with that guy. So I think, the Bills obviously having only a 6th and 7th can't really do much about that. But they do a lot in the trade market, and they really pumped up that offense even more. So you want to hope maybe they try to. Milano has been on the block too at linebacker if you're looking for a linebacker. But hopefully they can maybe trade for a difference maker on the defensive front, because if they want to make a foray into the AFC playoffs, you got to get a difference maker on the defensive side of football. All right. Cincinnati Bengals, they don't have a first or second rounder either, so we'll just kind of look at their roster. John Ross, of course, is a hell of a player. Mixon is a great running back. Then Bates and then Wilson, he's developed him well, former storyline player that was kind of a bust, but he put some work into him. Did a good job with that. Other than that, you kind of wonder what are they going to do at quarterback. That's always been the question. And then now Eason is the man over there. I guess he let Parker go. Someone else signed him. I saw that. So Jacob Eason is the man in Cincinnati. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they sign a quarterback in free agency if they got some money. He did trade for CeeDee Lamb, which was a good trade in my estimation, from the Eagles last year, mid-season. I think that's why he doesn't have the picks. Matter of fact, that's where Cincinnati's pick is with Philadelphia for that trade. Quayshawn Mathis, good young defensive end right there. So, I mean, they got a good team. That division is going to be interesting with, him, Cody at the Ravens. And then, I'm over there. The Steelers. Forgot about that. By the way, if you do have someone interested in joining, I will give up the Steelers. I mean, I really wanted to manage that team into a good place, and then if we get someone that wants to join, they can have the Steelers. So we do have dual PSNs on the Seahawks and the Titans as well. So just FYI. Okay, let's jump to the Bears. Bears have the 12th pick in the first round. All right. Frank Castle has been the man, kind of a game manager there in Chicago for what they do. Cohen, of course, is the man at the running back spot. He's got Rhodes right there. He mixes him in along with Travis, so it's kind of a three-headed monster. You would think maybe a difference maker, but Hall, does make some plays, and Quill, is obviously capable right there. For their offense, I think he's fine with those receivers. He's more of a run-based team. These tight ends kind of do some work with Burton and Shaheen. I would say offensive line again. He does take offensive linemen. He took Lincoln Porter last year. Was a storyline bust, but you see he's starting to develop. He's developed a superstar trait. Bit of a redemption story. Good job. But you see the left guard spot, and you definitely want to go offensive line. If there's one worthy at 12 in your estimation. Decent defensive line. Could use upgraded D tackle. Linebackers, Mack is still getting it done. Of course, Smith is a beast. Floyd's still hanging in there decently. Corners, you could maybe find a guy at 12 there if you get lucky. Of course, Eddie Jackson. I threw him 4 interceptions last year. He's definitely a zone hawk. And Delgado could upgrade there at the strong safety spot. So a couple different ways for the Bears to go. All right. Vikings, 20th pick in the first round. Of course, they signed Andrew Luck a couple years ago. He's done a good job there. Bryce Love has been the guy along with Sims. I think he's fine with those guys. Pretty good receiving crew right there among that group. The Vikings are a good team. They just get stuck in that tough NFC North, and those three, are all playoff worthy. And I say three, I mean the Vikings, the Packers, and the Lions. Does need to upgrade offensive line, especially at the right guard spot in my estimation. McKinley's pretty good. Good top end talent here across the board for the Vikings on defense. Picked up Devin Bush. Free agency paid him a bunch of money. Corners are not bad. Dawson's not bad at free, and then Simmons is very good at strong. I see the Packers saying he swears he's going to win it this year. Oh, well, hey. Never know. Never know. I think he's a good team. I think he's a couple of pieces off, but hey, you might have if you have a good draft and get lucky, you never know. All right, Titans, like I said, is a dual PSN. He's got the 4th pick in the first round. He did sign Dwayne Haskins to some pretty good money. And then you got Henry and Taylor. Good running backs right there. Oh, he's going to have a field day with those guys. Need some receivers, though. So definitely later on in the draft, get some guys to help fill that out. Could go tight end as well. Offensive line, I think he signed a couple guys to help this out. A couple decent guys. Not bad. Simmons is very good DN, along with Mays. Nice tandem right there. Needs some depth. D tackle. Good speed. Oh, my goodness. Good linebackers here for Tennessee. Now, the former Titans user did a good job in kind of building the backbone of this team. You see it right here in the secondary. These corners are pretty good. Free safety is okay. With those corners, you can probably get by Nick Smith, strong safety. I think he's a former storyline guy. Long few years ago, I think. Anyway, that's the Titans. That's our dual user. Texans. All right. No first round pick. That was traded. Got a second round pick, though. Watson is good, of course. Then there's Savage and Mack in the backfield, along with Henderson and Pollard, who, I mean, hey, you want 4 good running backs. You might run, well, you got Watson. You maybe can run some wishbone. Hell. Good receivers. Hopkins and Metcalf. And then French is good if you want to put him in the slot. And there's the tight end Knox with Seals Jones. Okay. I mean, the Texans have some good pieces. Lee did a good job in building them up before he decided to retire from Madden this year. Move one of those centers to one of those guard positions. That'll help out on the offensive line. There's Lawrence, he gave a lot of money to in free agency to pair with Clowney. There's Watt still going at 35 at the D tackle spot. Could use linebackers. I don't know about the second round if you can get someone that'll make a difference there. These 2 corners, well, actually these 3 corners are not bad. Duggar, I know Lee did a good job in developing him into a very good player. And then you got, maybe move one of these guys is strong, probably Micah Hyde right there. So Lee left a good team. We'll see what they do with it. All right, Steelers. That's the team I'm controlling right now. Really, Cam Newton's still here. We'll go ahead and run with him. I'm just offering Chubber Geis on the trade block if anyone was interested. I like this receiving group. We signed Parker because Washington's about to be a free agent. Signed him to a 2-year deal. And then these other guys. Juju, I didn't know Juju was that good. We'll have some fun trying to throw the ball to him. Ted Christmas, former storyline player at tight end, heads up that group. Offensive line is decent. Made a couple signings to help them out to be decent. But we'll see how the draft goes. I only set the draft board for the first round for those guys. So we'll see. Defensive line, just a bunch of decent guys. Signed Reader and Ogunjobi in free agency. Signed Ross. I had to do a lot of free agent signing. Shazier, Carey, a decent group of guys. And then corner, Lindsey Jones, who was my former corner in Carolina, was traded over there. Thompson is a stopgap, and then Reed's a good player at the strong. So we'll see what the CPU does after the first round. I did set the draft board for the first for the Steelers. And like I said, if anyone is interested in joining the league, we'll offer them the Steelers to take over. But for now, I'll manage that team and I'll play games until we get somebody. So hopefully we can find someone pretty quick. All right, Seahawks. This team is managed by the Giants. They have the number 1 pick in the draft. A lot of people seem to think he might go receiver. I don't know. Let's take a look. He did sign Russell Wilson. I had a bid on him with the Steelers, but I took it off once I saw he wanted him. He should be there. That's their quarterback. Two good running backs in Penny and Carson. Don't need those. So yeah, he could go for receiver. We got some secondary guys right here, so number one pick could be a receiver, and you got some very good receivers at the top of this group. Interesting to see which one he goes with. I don't know which one I'd go with. They both look pretty good. Decent tight ends. Let's see, offensive line. Not bad. I think he signed a couple guys to help out. Yep, not bad up front, average. D-line, about average. Had to do a lot of work here. Oh, reinforcement for Stevens. That's good. Young guy. Linebackers. Bobby Wagner's still in the house. I hear you. All right, so, oh God. Griffin, he's a beast. Not bad for corners at this point, with a team that's kind of been neglected for a year. I think Hargraves was a stopgap along with Chris Harris Jr. At the safety spots. And I see the Cardinals saying Killen's going to lead the league in rushing. I don't think so. And that's only because you have those receivers that you want to throw to. It's not that he's not capable. It's just not the game plan in Arizona. That's why. All right. Saints have the 23rd pick in the first round, and then they have a 6th and a 7th. Saints were very excited to get on the show, and now we've waited till 8:30 to talk about them. So here we go. Marino, storyline player, good player, quarterback spot. Kamara, of course, is good. He signed Fletcher in free agency. I let him have Fletcher. He was going to be my third guy. It's his second guy, power guy. Let's see, receiver. Of course, Michael Thomas still going strong. Castle was the big first-round pick last year. Thought he would have developed more, so kind of surprised to see him. Traquan Smith, I know, was on the block if anyone was interested in him. Let's see. Westerman, there's the tight end he traded for from the Packers. And then offensive line was not bad. He signed a couple guys in free agency. Just got to move some positions around to help that out. I need a left end. Good Lord. So defensive end definitely is a need. Got a couple decent, strong D tackles right there. And Tuitt and Rankins. Renee Nixon is like a pretty good linebacker right there. Blake Martinez, I think, was a free agent signing. Well, move one of those guys outside. That'll help too. And in the corners, top two are good with Trey White and Lattimore. And then at free, Williams is a good player. And he needs strong safety. So can't get all that in the first round, but maybe you get someone to help out at 23. That can start, ideally. All right, Redskins, 22nd pick in the first round. All right, Rex Griffin, who they've picked up from the Falcons, is the new guy. They let Haskins go. Etienne at running back, of course, is the man, and then Connor backs him up. Good combination right there. Alaska, superstar development wide receiver, former storyline player. Knowing the Redskins, I know they'll be itching to take a receiver, but I don't know. We'll see what else they need here. Pretty good combination at tight end with Walker and Jonnu Smith. Walker's also a former storyline player. Up front, pretty decent group. I know he traded the right guard before, but he could afford to do that because he's got some pretty good guys, across the board there. Defensively, Sweat, of course, is a beast. I'm surprised this guy didn't have more sacks. I mean, he's a better prospect, I think, than Brian Burns, who had 27 sacks for me last year. So I'd expect him to have a bigger year this year for the Redskins. Their defensive line is very good, as you guys can see. Phil Collins, another former storyline player. I think the Redskins might lead the league in storyline players. They just might lead the league in that. Thurman's developed into a very good player. And then Foster, you could upgrade. Corners are not bad at the top two. There's Nataki. Nataki's another storyline guy. How y'all let him get all these storylines? Maybe I need to make like 3 storyline guys. Could use an upgrade. Well, he's alright at free. Nicholson's not bad. And then Collins, of course, is still getting it done strong. So, I mean, they're a good team in Washington. Let's see what they do. They got, 22nd pick in the first round. All right, Cody's Ravens. They have 2 first-round picks. I don't remember where that came from with Buffalo, but was that the offensive lineman deal? I think Stanley or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, 2 first-round picks. All right, let's take a look. Of course, they got Lamar Jackson, everyone's MVP. Maybe they go running back. I know Johns is a young guy, but, he's not too dynamic because he has some nice break tackle and truck power guy. It'll be interesting to see what they do. See if he sticks with him. Then of course Marquise Brown. Good lord, it's Tyreek Hill light, 99 speed, 97 acceleration. Boykin's a good player, and then Davis, is a nice guy you could use as a change up as well. Good little group right there. Then Andrews pretty good at tight end. Take a look at up front. Let's see. Decent. Could move one of them centers to a guard spot to help out. We could use an offensive lineman to maybe one of those first round picks. Defensive line, decent D ends. Could use some depth at D tackle to go behind Pierce, who looks like a good player. Linebacker could be an option. Could move Bailey outside unless you're playing 3-4. You might want him inside. So maybe some depth at linebacker, depth at corner. Marlon Humphrey's a beast. Decent safeties, and then strong you could use an upgrade. So maybe move one of those guys to strong. I don't know. I mean, there's a couple. Overall it's a good team. They were a playoff team last year. But there's some places they can upgrade. And with 2 first round picks, this is a team we can watch here. They get 2 good first round picks. They got 2 seconds as well. So that's a team to watch. They get the right guys in the right spot. They could have something right there. Agape and the Rams been trying to move these picks to move up into the top of the draft. Hasn't been successful yet, it appears. Probably going to try to negotiate till the last second here. Let's see here. Drew Lock. Is he the man at QB? I don't know. We'll see what happens when the draft starts. Could be targeting one of those guys to move up to. I know he's happy at running back with Vaughn. He got rid of Gurley to make him the man. He's a former 4th round pick. Signed Adams in free agency to go with Cooks, so I don't think receiver is an option at the top of the draft at least. Only tight end is Ian Thomas, who we traded for corner. I think it was Darby, then we cut him or something like that. Oh, Peters, Marcus Peters, yeah. So, yeah, Ian Thomas, he's playing, he's happy. That's good. Offensive line. Wells is a good tackle. A little hole at guard. So maybe you can move Neal there if you wanted to. Or you could take offensive lineman with one of those first round picks. Now, defensively, they're pretty good. Matos is good. Miller is still hanging on at 35. And then the D tackles between Han and Donald are very good. Of course, Donald's a beast. He's among the league leaders in sacks. Ebukam is a very good linebacker with Murray, who he drafted 2 years ago, was developed into an X factor. Phillips is a good speed guy. These corners are very good across the board. Moore is pretty good at the free, and then Johnson's very good at the strong. So, hey, they got pieces. They're a good team. They've made the playoffs before. They got 2 first. We'll see where they go. See if they go quarterback or maybe something else slides to them if they don't move up into the top of the draft. The Raiders, 10th pick in the first round. They didn't have any money once again, so they didn't do anything in free agency. Withrow at quarterback, developing to a pretty good player, 86 overall. I've screamed for him to get a running back, and will continue to do that. But I mean, if Jacobs is doing all right and these other guys compliment him, then that's fine. Did draft Jerry Jeudy, who's turned into a very good player at the receiver spot, complimented by Renfro and Butler. I mean, overall, it's not a bad group right there. Good tight ends between Kirkland and Watt. It's a nice little group with Moreau also in there. Good, pretty good overall group at tight end. Offensive line could use maybe an upgrade at the left tackle spot, but not bad. Farrell's not a bad DN. Could use an upgrade here. Just average guys right there. Maybe a difference maker to go with Hurst on the D-line. Free him up a little bit to make some things happen. Linebacker, you got some athletic guys. Sweat, a superstar development guy. And along with Lee, they need difference makers. That's the thing here. Could use an upgrade at corner at 10. You could get a guy that could be a difference maker at that position. So he's got some good superstar development guys. They just got to develop. That's the thing. Could use an upgrade at strong also. So they got some pieces. They just need some time to put some work into them, develop them, and let them blossom a little bit. But in that division, they got a shot. I mean, the Chargers made they made the Super Bowl, but they were I think an 8-8, 9-7 team going into the playoffs. So there's opportunity there. Patriots, 3rd pick in the first round in a tough division in the AFC East with the Jets and the Dolphins and the Bills for that matter. All right, Tinsel has thrown a lot of picks. He's talented, but going against those guys in that division is tough. Could use an upgraded running back. I know he signed Fournette. I think that was a decent amount of money. So we'll see if he's going to use him as the man. Could use a difference maker at receiver. At number 3, you got the opportunity to get a difference maker, and that's what you need, in this division. If I'm him, I'm going receiver. You got options there, unless they go 1 and 2, which I don't think they would. Tight end, I don't know if there's a top guy you would take at 3 there at tight end spot, maybe 2nd round. His offensive line's not bad. So, I mean, right tackle, but still, you can get that 2nd, 3rd round. Superstar development DN guy, just got to work on them. Need a little upgrade there. Move one of those left end guys. There's an X Factor guy right there. A little depth needed at D tackle. And you see the difference with these teams that have been struggling a little bit. It's difference makers. You got to get difference makers to compete. At this point in the game, you still got Gilmore, who's still not bad. It's okay at the corner spot, but I mean, you got to get a receiver at 3. You got to get a receiver that's going to be a difference maker, that's going to put the fear, in teams that play you, and then give Tinsel, a chance. He's 94 throw power. He's got good, accuracy to throw it medium and deep. Give him a guy to throw to. Give him a man, and he's going to turn into a damn X Factor. Trust me. Okay. All right. That's it. Let's see. It is 8:42. All right. Let me look at the chat, see if there's anything that's been said. Nope. Not really. Not in the main chat. Dolphins are still trying to trade picks. They're trying to get a first rounder. Rams is looking to make a deadline deal. And that's all we got right now. So, hey. So, real quick, let's go to the news tab. In the draft, remember, okay, first round, no time limit on your pick. No one has told me they're not going to be here, so we're going to let the clock roll for the entire first round. If you don't pick in the first round, you will be skipped going forward, okay? Second round, 1 minute time limit starts to make your pick. So you got 1 minute to make your pick. If you don't make your pick in the minute, you will get skipped. We say this every year, and every year I skip somebody, and every year someone gets mad, and then everyone says, you know what the deal is because you've been here. And I will put it in the chat before the draft starts, okay? 1 minute to make your pick in the second round. We will do all 7 rounds. We don't skip any rounds. When the draft ends, we'll have a draft recap show. I'll review the first round of picks, and then we'll look at any other notable picks, and then we'll go into preseason. Preseason will advance week 1, week 2, week 3 every 15 minutes. When we get to week 4, we will stop until tomorrow. All this is on the off-season schedule. In week 4, you are allowed to add players to your practice squad and make cuts if you need to. The big thing for preseason, you can only sign one player outside of punters and kickers for the entire preseason, okay? If you sign more than one player, we're going to call you out and we'll, adjust the guy that we need to if you don't release him. Now, I know that we have a thing where the CPU will sign guys on advance of the preseason. I know when that happens because I know when I advance. Every time I advance the preseason, I will go back and I will look. All right? So I'll know when the CPU signs someone and when you've tried to sneak someone in. Okay? When we advance to week 1 tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, free agency will be open. There'll be no limits like it usually is during the season. All right. Practice squad stealing opens week 2 of the regular season. All right. So that's how it'll roll, from here on out. Okay. All right. So if you got questions, let me know in DM or post in the chat. All right. We've got about 15 minutes before the draft starts. So you draft a player, take his picture. We'll be in the draft chat tonight. That's what it's there for. Post a picture of your player. Let everyone see what you got. And that's how we're going to roll. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. And we'll see you in 15 minutes for the draft.